What's your takeaway from the result of the summit here in Singapore?
So I think it was high on optics and theatrics, but in terms of the substance, a lot of the language that was agreed to are things that the United States and North Korea have agreed to in the past. In fact, 25 years almost to the day, the 1993 Joint Declaration looked eerily similar to the one issued yesterday, calling for the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula, and the wide canyon and gulf between the two states and their conception of denuclearization may remain. And so all the hard work still remains to be done. I mean, to President Trump's credit, he upended, I think, a process that hasn't worked in previous administrations, and maybe sets up a chance to achieve objectives short of unilateral disarmament of North Korea. But the bottom line is, North Korea is not going to give up its nuclear weapons. And yesterday was the dramatic arrival of Kim Jong-un as the leader of a nuclear weapons power.
So you don't think, Vipin, that North Korea are going to give up their weapons at all? What do you think that they're going to do? I mean, aside from Kim Jong-un actually getting this photo opportunity, you said a lot of it is in the optics. What else have they actually received? Because sanctions haven't been lifted yet and won't be, from what we understand, until there is some movement on the nuclear front.
I think what will end up happening most likely is, there's still objectives short of North Korean disarmament that the United States may want to achieve. So you could establish a long-term freeze-for-freeze kind of arrangement if North Korea doesn't test long-range missiles and nuclear weapons, and the North and the South and the United States agree to suspend large-scale exercises at the very least. You could establish that as kind of a regime that establishes a berth and it recognizes that North Korea now has nuclear weapons. The United States and South Korea aren't going to invade it and threaten regime change. And maybe North Korea can cap and freeze its nuclear weapons program, declare its nuclear facilities. That would be a huge win, I think, for the United States. And over time, you would probably, I think North Korea hopes that you'd have an easing of sanctions. But at the very least, China is not going to come back on board with the maximum pressure campaign. So you would have investment and certainly energy imports from China, and over time maybe South Korea as well. And maybe that's enough to jumpstart the economy, even if the United States doesn't lift all of its own unilateral sanctions.
Still watching? Perfect. Click here to watch another great video from CNBC International. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.